Okay. Technical problems galore. Here we are. Let's go ahead and finish this up. So, CHAZ is done. CHAZ, chop, CHAZ pickles, whatever you want to call this whole thing, is pretty much done. The folks are packing up their tents and they're moving down the way. They're getting off the streets and everything else like that. They LARP that, basically, things are going to come to blows allegedly with the East District and, the cops coming in. Ultimately, I feel like they aren't going to do anything. They don't have the cojones to sit there and defend the East District Police Station. I really don't see that. I really don't see that happen. That's not to say it couldn't, but I really don't think these guys have the wherewithal to do that. They just talk big. They're not going to do anything. So now this whole thing is over. It created some lovely memes. It created a lot of great. It fed the trolls. It fed even people like me. I'm fairly well fed on the the cringe and the ridiculousness of it all, and the ridiculousness of it. And watching this long documentary on Evergreen College, I was like, oh my gosh, this is all the progenitors to what's going on now. I was like, holy crap. And, what have we learned, really? What have we learned? Well, we've learned that, the thing is, you can be against cops all day, but there's always going to be a vacuum. There's always going to be a power vacuum. And unfortunately, as we know, apart from the ineffectual, mostly security that existed, this guy Raz, who was kind of, was definitely at least punking people. We'll say that. We're not even gonna, I'll be one to admit that, maybe he wasn't a warlord, but he was punking people, and he was trying to, he's trying to lay down some sort of smackdown on folks, but he wasn't that strong. He's pretty soft, but that's a whole other story. And the thing is, especially with the gangs that existed, that's obviously a story that hasn't been talked about. Of course, I'm sure it's out there somewhere on the internet that I don't feel like looking for. But it's interesting as hell, to say the least. To see, what has it been, 2 weeks now it lasted? It's just, now it's going to dissipate into nothing. The only thing that they're going to hold out for is to slash the police department budget. And to me, that's just kind of ridiculous and pointless at this point. It goes to show it's like they need more police, because obviously you guys can't get your shit together, But anyway, I think I've pretty much just said my piece on that. I think I really have, because what else is there to say that already hasn't been said? It's kind of dissipated into nothing. This is just yet another what the hell do we even call this at this point? But yeah, it's just another round, basically, between the battles that are going to continue to happen. I'm sure that there's someone that's going to write a very nice, they're writing very nice cope threads on Reddit right now. They've already been written, I'm sure, but I'm sure that there'll be lovely WordPress, blogs that will be so praising of it, and they'll say, well, the Fast tried to take us down, we fought them back, and making it look more heroic than what it was. I'm sure that's going to, and there'll probably be plenty of people who will just say, yeah, it was ridiculous, yeah, it was pointless. That'll probably be the majority opinion, where, yeah, it is pointless and it's ridiculous and it's feijoa. What I would say at the end of the day, though, is it was something that, the folks allowed to happen like a couple of scared parents, and they allowed their child to run amok, and the child takes over one room in the house, basically. They live in let's say they live in a mansion. I was just going to say Evan, but there's no point in that. There's no point in some, you got to have a point to cursing. But anyway, so this kid takes over one part of the mansion. And they still say, hey, and let's say he has, let's say he has the pool house. We'll say that. He takes control of the pool house, and then he's got some land right next to the, he's obviously, right there in their luxurious, huge backyard with the pool, obviously. And, they try to grow vegetables and whatnot, and they have a couple of friends. They have this one POC friend, and they have this one, this transgender friend and all this other feijoa. And then, like, well, we're going to try to grow vegetables, isn't that? And they basically just allow it to happen. And then suddenly, their one friend ends up getting shot, over some bullshit or whatever the case may be. That's not a good analogy necessarily, but screw it. And then suddenly the parents decide to step in and they call the cops and they say, this is over. Okay. Yeah. That would be my analogy of this whole thing. It was just a cheap way, at first, of course, they called it autonomous zone. And then they said, well, we didn't vote on that, which is already just BS. It's just, come on. And then, they decided to call it, of course, the occupying protests, and then it became organized protest, I think, is the feijoa that exists. And now it's faded into nothingness, But like I say, I'm sure that the conspiracy theories are already out there about, well, the fascists were, purposely, shot up these folks and whatnot and purposely shot that 19-year-old and everything else. I'm sure that that's out there. I'm absolutely sure of it. And the information is going to come out. I mean, it always does. It always finds a way to tumble itself out. And, yeah. But I would say, if nothing else, thank you for the memes. Thank you for at least showing us a glimpse of what the future will be if Trump does get reelected in 2020. Who knows? It looks pretty slim right now for him, but we'll see. We will see if he can regain the momentum and see if he can get his ish together. And we'll pull out some sort of victory. I don't think he will necessarily. I mean, it's people are going to hold their nose and vote for Biden. That's honestly what I think. Regardless of, how many kids that he gropes, and, no matter how many times he kisses his granddaughter on the lips, they're going to say, at least he's not grabbing him by the pussy. And that's probably going to happen. You're going to have good old Kamala Harris, being the leader of the Senate, Okay, guys, well, we're going to have to do the. Oh, boy. I mean, it's just going to be ridiculous. It's going to be absolute feijoa. But, yeah, if you can't tell, feijoa is something I've used quite a bit. It's me pretending that I can speak Mandarin now because I've watched too many Kung Fu movies. But anyway, I think that's all I have to say on it. Once again, I went a little bit too long. Sorry about that. But basically, that's how I feel. And thanks for the memories, CHAZ. I guess that's all I can do. And I think I'll keep it there. So see you later, folks. Goodbye.